Often overlooked, sidelined, and underappreciated is the role that those comprising the Anabaptists contributed to the Reformation as a whole. They were part of what is known today as the Radical Reformation, distinguished from the Magisterial Reformation due to the way that they related to the secular authorities. Popular reformers such as Martin Luther, Ulrich Zwingli, and John Calvin are considered magisterial reformers because their movements of reform were supported by the magistrates or ruling authorities. The Radical Reformation, however, believed that the church should not be supported by, connected to, or in subservience to the state. This belief on authority was not the only difference. As the name suggests, they had a different belief on the doctrine of baptism. The word Anabaptist literally means rebaptism. They rejected the doctrine of infant baptism and believed that baptism is a decision that needs to be made by individual personal conviction and surrender. And so they sought to be baptized again, a decision that brought much controversy and persecution from both Catholics and Protestants. Throughout the 16th century, the movement would spread around Europe to Holland, parts of Germany, Strasbourg, and here in Switzerland. They believed that the Reformation had not gone far enough and that some of the reformers such as Zwingli had compromised in their beliefs in order to gain favor with the state. They believed they needed to go all the way, and although they believed in justification by faith, they aimed to live a life of high moral standard, demonstrating their good works. It's hard to pinpoint a solitary founder or a singular leader from the early days, but one name that stands out is Felix Manz. He was born here in Zurich and became a follower of Zwingli, but after 1523, they believed that Zwingli's plans for reform had been compromised with the city council. A public disputation was held in 1525, and Manz and Grobels, amongst others, tried to defend their position. And some parents refused to have their children baptized, but the council declared Zwingli the victor. This led to some making a break with Zwingli and the council, and the movement for radical reform spread rapidly. Mainz was an early leader in it and preached enthusiastically for the next 2 years as an evangelist. Although he was arrested several times, his life was never in danger until after the 7th of March 1526, when the Zurich Council passed an edict making adult rebaptism punishable by drowning. He was arrested again, and on the 5th of January 1527, Mainz became the first casualty of this edict and the first Swiss Anabaptist to be martyred at the hands of other Protestants. He was taken by boat to a spot just behind me on the River Limmat. His hands were bound and pulled behind his knees, and then he was cruelly executed by drowning. Many others would suffer the same fate, and their witness and stories would inspire other Christians to stand firm for their faith. The death of these Anabaptists clearly illustrates that persecution wasn't just a Catholic to Protestant thing. Protestants were not immune from the cancer of persecution. Wherever there is a spirit of control and an inability to appreciate others' beliefs, persecution will eventually follow. Men such as Felix made a stand for their faith and died holding their convictions strong. May we also stand for the truth as these believers did in the past, and may we also be gracious to others if we are in a position of leadership or authority, recognizing that God expects everyone to follow Him according to their own convictions.